Next, Interrogation-Mobile.
Make glorious summer by this son of York, and all the clouds that load upon our house are in the deep bosom of the ocean buried. Now are our brows bounded with victorious wreaths, our bruised arms hung up for monuments, our stern alarums changed to merry meetings, our dreadful marches to delightful measures. Grim-visaged war hath smoothed his wrinkled front, and now, instead of mounting barbed steeds to fight the souls of fearful adversaries, he capers nimbly in a lady's chamber to the lascivious pleasing of a lute. But I, that am not shaped for sportive tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking-glass, I that am curtailed of this fair proportion, cheated of feature by dissembling nature, deformed, unfinished, sent before my time into this breathing world, scarce half made up, and that so lamely and unfashionable that dogs bark at me as I halt by them. Why I, in this weak piping time of peace, have no delight to pass away the time, unless to spy my own shadow in the sun, and descant at my own deformity. And therefore, since I cannot prove a lover, to entertain these fair, well-spoken days, I am determined to prove a villain, and hate the idle pleasure of these days. Plots have I laid, inductions dangerous, by drunken prophecies, libels, and dreams, to set my brother, the king, and George Clarence in deadly hate the one against the other, and if King Edward be as just and true as I am subtle, false, and treacherous, this day should Clarence closely be mewed up about a prophecy which says that G of Edward's heirs the murderer shall be. Dive thoughts down into my soul. Here Clarence comes. Brother, what means this armed guard that waits upon your grace?
His Majesty, tendering my person's safety, have appointed this conduct to convey me to the Tower.
Upon what cause?
Because my name is George!
Alack, my lord, this fault, it's none of yours. What's the matter, Clarence, may I know?
He hearkens after prophecies and dreams.
And from the crossroad plucks the letter G, and says a wizard told him that by G his issue disinherited should be. And, for my name of George begins with G, it follows in his thought that I am he.
Why, this is it when men are ruled by women. It is not the king that sent you to the Tower, Elizabeth, his queen, Clarence. It is she that tempers me to this extremity. Was it not she and her brother Rivers that made them send Lord Hastings to the Tower?
From whence this present day he is delivered?
We are not safe, Clarence. We are not safe.
By heaven, I think there is no man secure but the Queen's king.
I tell you what, I think it is our way, if we will keep in favour with the king, to be her men and wear her livery.
I do beseech your graces to pardon me. His Majesty has straightly given in charge that no man of what degree soever shall have private conference with your brother.
We speak no treason, man. We say the king is wise and virtuous, and his noble queen, well struck in years, fair and not jealous. We say that she hath a pretty foot, a cherry lip, a bonny eye, a passing pleasing tongue. And the queen's kindred are made gentle folk. How say you, sir? Can you deny all this?
Do beseech your grace to pardon me. With all forbear your conference with the noble duke.
And we know thy charge, Brackenbury, and will obey.
We are the queen's abjects, and must obey.
Brother, farewell.
Meantime, this deep disgrace in brotherhood, it touches me deeper than ye can imagine.
I know it pleaseth neither of us well.
Well, your imprisonment shall not be long. I will deliver you, or else life for you.
I must perforce. Farewell.
Go tread the path, thou shalt ne'er return. Simple, plain Clarence. I do love thee, sir. I will shortly send thy soul to heaven, if heaven will take the present at our hands. But who comes here? The new deliverer at Hastings.
Good time of day into my gracious lord.
As much unto you, my good Lord Chamberlain. Well, are you welcome to the open air? How hath your lordship brooked imprisonment?
With patience, noble lord, as prisoners must. But I will live, my lord, to give them thanks that were the cause of my imprisonment.
No doubt, and so shall Clarence too, for they that were your enemies are his, and have prevailed as much on him as you.
More pity that eagles should be mewed while kites and buzzards play at liberty.
What news abroad?
No news so bad abroad as this at home. The king is sickly, weak and melancholy, and his physicians fear him mightily.
This news is bad indeed. Oh, he hath kept an evil diet long, and o'ermuch consumed his royal person. 'Tis very grievous to be thought upon. Where is he? In his bed?
He is.
Go you before, and I will follow you. The king cannot live, and must not die till George Clarence be packed post-haste up to heaven. Arlint urges hatred more, with lies well steeled with weighty arguments. And if I fail not in my deep intent, Clarence hath not another day to live. Which done, God take King Edward to his grave, and leave the world for me to bustle in. For then I'll marry the fair Lady Anne. What? Though I killed her husband? And his father? The readiest way to make the wench amends is to become her husband and her father, the which will I, not also much for love, as for another secret close intent by marrying her, which I must reach into, but yet I run before my horse to market. Clarence still breathes. Edward still lives and reigns. When they are gone, then must I count my gains.
Step down, your honourable lord. The untimely fall of virtuous Lancaster. Poor tea-cold figure of a holy king, pale ashes of the house of Lancaster, thou bloodless remnant of that royal blood, be it lawful that I invocate thy ghost, to hear the lamentations of poor Anne, wife to thy Edward, to thy slaughtered son, stabbed by the self-same hand that made these halls. Oh, curse be the hand that made these halls. Curse the heart that had the heart to do it. Curse the blood that let this blood from hence. If ever he have child, abortive be it, prodigious and untimely brought to life, whose ugly and unnatural aspect might fright the hopeful mother at the view, and let her be heir to his unhappiness. If ever he have wife, let her be made more miserable by the life of him than I am made by my young lord and thee. Come now. Towards Chelsea with your holy load.
Say that they're the corpse, and set it down.
What black magician conjures up these fiends to stop devoted charitable deeds?
Villain, set down the corpse, or by St. Paul I will make a corpse of him that disobeys.
My lord, stand back and let the body pass.
Unman and talk! Stand there where I command! Advance thy weapon higher than my breast, or by St. Paul I'll strike thee to my foot, and spurn upon thee, beggar, for thy boldness! Advance thy weapon!
What, do you tremble? Are you all afraid? Alas, I blame you not, for you are mortal, and mortal eyes cannot endure the devil. Avaunt, thou dreadful minister of hell, be gone!
Sweet saint! For charity, be not so cursed!
Foul devil, for God's sake, hence and trouble us not. For thou hast made thee happy earth thy hell. If thou delight to view thy heinous deeds, behold this pattern of thy butcheries. Blush, blush, thou lump of foul deformity. Either heaven with lightning strike the murderer dead, or earth gape open wide and eat him quick.
Lady, you know no rules of charity, which renders good for bad, blessings for curses.
Villain, thou knowest no law of God, no man. No beast so fierce, but no some touch of pity.
But I know none, and therefore am no beast.
How wonderful when devils tell the truth.
More wonderful when angels are so angry. Vouchsafe, divine, perfection of a woman, of these supposed evils, to give me leave by circumstance, but to acquit myself. I did not kill your husband.
Why then he is alive?
Nay, he is dead, and slain by Edward's hand.
In thy foul throat thou liest. Queen Margaret saw thy murderous weapon smoking in his blood.
I was provoked by her slanderous tongue, which laid their guilt upon my guiltless shoulders.
Thou wast provoked by thy bloody mind that never dreams on aught but butcheries. Didst thou not kill this king?
I grant ye.
Dost grant me, hedgehog? Then God grant me too, thou mayst be damned for this wicked deed. Oh, he was mild, gentle, and virtuous.
The better for the King of heaven that hath him.
He is in heaven where thou shalt never come.
Let him thank me then, and hope to send him thither, for he was fitter for that place than earth.
And thou unfit for any place but hell.
Yes, one place else, if you will hear me name it.
Some dungeon.
Your bed chamber.
Here rest betide the chamber where thou liest.
So will it, madam, till I lie with you.
I hope so.
I know so, but gentle Lady Anne, is not the causer of these timeless deaths, of these Plantagenets, Henry and Edward, as blameful as the executioner?
Thou art the cause and the most accursed of them.
Your beauty was the cause of that effect. Your beauty, that it haunt me in my sleep, to undertake the death of all the world, so I might live 1 hour in your sweet bosom.
If I thought that, I tell thee, homicide, these nails should rend thy beauty from my cheek.
These eyes could never endure sweet beauty's wreck. You should not blemish it if I stood by. As all the world is cheered by the sun, so I by that. It is my day, my life.
Black night overshade thy day, and death thy night.
Curse not thyself, fair creature, thou art both.
I would I were, to be revenged on thee.
It is a quarrel most unnatural to be revenged on him that loveth thee.
It is a quarrel just and reasonable to be revenged on him that killed my husband.
He that bereft thee, lady, of thy husband, did it to help thee to a better husband.
Better doth not breathe upon the earth.
He lives that loves thee better than he could.
Name him.
Plantagenet.
Why, that was he.
The self-same name, but one of better nature.
Where is he?
Here.
Why dost thou spit at me?
Would it were mortal poison for thy sake.
Never came poison from so sweet a place.
Out of my sight! Thou dost infect mine eyes!
Mine eyes, sweet lady, have infected mine.
I would they were basilisks, to strike thee dead.
I would they were, that I might die at once. For now they kill me with a living death. Those eyes of thine from mine have drawn salt tears. They've shamed their aspect with store of childish drops. These eyes which never shed remorseful tear, no. When thy warlike father, like a child, told the sad story of my father's death, and 20 times made pause to sob and weep, that all the standers by had wet their cheeks like trees bedashed with rain. In that sad time my manly eyes did scorn a humble tear. And what these sorrows could not thence exhale, thy beauty hath, and made them blind with weeping. Teach not thy lips such scorn, for they were made for kissing. Lady, not for such contempt, if thy vengeful heart cannot forgive. Lo, here I lend thee the sharp-pointed sword, which if thou please, hide in my true breast, and let the soul forth that adoreth thee. I lay it naked to the deadly stroke, and humbly beg the death upon my knee. Nay, do not pause, for I did kill King Henry. But it was thy beauty that provoked me. Nay, no, despatch! It was I that stabbed young Edward. It was thy heavenly face that set me down. Take up the sword again. Or take up me.
Though I wish thy death, I will not be thy executioner.
Then bid me kill myself, and I will do it.
I have already.
I was in thy rage, speak it again. Even with the word, this hand which for thy love did kill thy love, shall for thy love kill a far truer love. To both their deaths thou shalt be accessory.
I would I knew thy heart.
It is figured in my tongue.
Of whom we both are full.
The never man was true.
Well, put up your sword.
Say then my peace is made.
There shalt thou know hereafter.
Shall I live in hope?
All men, I hope, live so.
Vouchsafe to wear this ring.
To take is not to give.
Look, how my ring encompasseth thy finger. Even so thy breast encloseth my poor heart. Where both of them, for both of them are thine. And if thy poor devoted servant may but beg one favour at thy gracious hand, thou dost confirm his happiness forever.
What is it?
That it would please you, leave these sad designs to him that hath more cause to be a mourner, and presently repair to my house. I beseech you, grant me this boon.
With all my heart. And much it joys me too to see you are become so penitent.
Bid me farewell.
'Tis more than you deserve. But since you teach me how to flatter you, imagine I have said farewell already.
Oh! Was ever woman in this humour wooed? Was ever woman in this humour won? I'll have her, but I'll not keep her long. What? I, that killed her husband and his father, to take her in her heart's extremest hate, with curses in her mouth, tears in her eyes, the bleeding witness of my hatred by having God, her conscience and these bars against me, and I no friends to back my suit at all, but the plain devil and dissembling looks, and yet to win her, all the world to nothing. Ha! And will she yet abase her eyes on me? A
that cropped the golden prime of this sweet prince, and made her widow to a woeful bed on me, whose all not equals Edward's moiety, my dukedom to a beggarly denier. Upon my life, she finds, although I cannot, myself, to be a marvellous, proper man. I'll be at charges for a looking glass, and entertain some score or two of tailors to study fashions to adorn my body. Since I am crept in favour with myself, I'll maintain it with some little cost. But first, I'll turn yon fellow in his grave, and then return lamenting to my love. Shine now, fair sun, till I have bought a glass, that I may see my shadow as I pass. Towards Chertsey, my lord. No, to Whitefriars. There attends my coining.
Sister, there's no doubt His Majesty will soon recover his accustomed health.
If he were dead, brother, what would betide on me?
No other harm but loss of such a lord.
The loss of such a lord includes all harm.
The heavens have blessed you with a goodly son, to be your comforter when he is gone.
He is young, and his minority is put into the trust of Richard Gloucester, a man that loves not me nor none of you.
Is it concluded he shall be Lord Protector?
So it must be, if the king miscarry.
Here come the lords of Buckingham and Derby.
Good time of day unto your royal grace.
God make your majesty joyful, as you have been.
Saw you the king today, my lord of Derby?
But now the Duke of Buckingham and I have come from visiting his majesty.
What likelihood of his amendment, lords?
I have good hope. His grace speaks cheerfully.
God grant him health. Did you confer with him?
Aye, madam. He desires to make atonement between the Duke of Gloucester and your brothers, and between them and my good Lord Chin, and sent to warn them to his royal presence.
Would all were well. That'll never be. I fear our happiness is at the height.
They do me wrong, and I will not endure it. Who are they that complain to the king that I, forsooth, am stern and love them not? By holy Paul, they love his grace, but lightly that fill his ears with such dissentious rumours, because I cannot flatter and look fair. Smile in men's faces, smooth, deceiving cog. I must be held a rancorous enemy.
Who in all this noble presence speaks, your grace?
To thee that hast nor honesty nor grace. When have I injured thee? When done thee wrong, or thee, or any of your faction? His royal person, whom God preserve better than you would wish, cannot be quiet, scarce a breathing while, but you must trouble him with lewd complaints.
Brother of Gloucester, you mistake the matter. The king on his own royal disposition was not provoked by any suitor else.
I cannot tell the world has grown so bad that wrens make prey where eagles dare not perch.
Oh, come. We know your meaning, brother of Gloucester. You envy my advancement and my friends. God grant we never may have need of you.
Meantime, God grants that we have need of you. My brother is imprisoned by your means, myself disgraced and the nobility, held in contempt.
I never did incense his majesty against the Duke of Clarence, but have been an earnest advocate to plead for him. My lord, you do me shameful injury falsely to draw me in these vile suspects.
You may deny that you're not the cause of my Lord Hastings' late imprisonment.
She may, my lord, for the Lord
Hastings. She may, Lord Rivers. Why? Who knows not so? She may do more, sir, than denying that. What may she not? She may help you to many fair preferments. What may she not? She may, yea, marry, may she?
What marry may
What
she?
marry may she? Marry.
Lord of Gloucester, I have too long borne your blunt upbraidings and bitter scoffs. By heaven, I will acquaint his majesty of those gross taunts that oft I have endured. Small joy have I in being England's queen, and lessened be that small. God, I beseech him, thy honour, state, and seat is due to me.
What? Threat you me with telling of the king? Tell him and spare not. My pains are quite forgot.
Ouch! Devil, I do remember them too well. Thou killedst my husband Henry in the Tower, and Edward my poor son at Tewkesbury.
Before you were queen. Yea, you were your husband king. I was a packhorse in his great affairs, a weeder out of his proud adversaries. To royalise his blood, I spilt my own.
I am much better blood than his or yours.
In all which time, you and your husband Grey were factious for the house of Lancaster. And Rivers, so were you. Let me put in your mind, if you forget what you have been ere this and what you are. with all what I have been and what I am.
A murderous villain, and so still thou art.
I would to God my heart were flint like Edward's, or Edward soft and pitiful like mine. I am too childish, foolish for this world.
Hie thee to hell for shame and leave this world, thou cacodemon.
My lord of Gloucester, in those busy days which here you urge to prove us enemies, we follow then our lord, our sovereign king. So should we you, if you should be our king?
If I should be, I'd rather be a peddler, far be it from my heart the thought of it.
I can no longer hold me patient. Hear me, you wrangling pirates that fall out in sharing that which you have pilled from me. Which of you trembles not that looks on me? If not that I am queen, you bow like subjects, yet that by you deposed, you quake like rebels. Oh, gentle villain, do not turn away.
Foul wrinkled witch, what makest thou in my sight?
But repetition of what thou hast marred, that will I make before I let thee go.
Wert thou not banished on pain of death?
I was, but I do find more pain in banishment than death can yield me here by my abode. A husband and a son thou owest to me, and thou a kingdom, all of you allegiance. This sorrow that I have by right is yours, and all the treasures you usurp are mine. What? Were you snarling all before I came, ready to catch each other by the throat, and turn you all your hatred now on me? Can curses pierce the clouds and into heaven? Why then give way, dull clouds, to my quick curses. Though not by war, by surfeit die your king, as ours by murder to make him a king. Edward, thy son, that now is Prince of Wales, for Edward, our son that was Prince of Wales, died in his youth by like untimely violence. Thyself a queen, for me that was a queen, outlive thy glory like thy wretched self. Long mayst thou live to wail thy children's death, and see another as I see thee now, decked in thy rights as thou hast stalled in mine. And after many lengthened hours of grief, die neither mother, wife, nor England's queen. Rivers and grey, you were standers by, and so was thou, Lord Hastings, when my son was stabbed with bloody daggers. God, I pray him that none of you may live his natural age, but by some unlooked accident cut off.
Have done thy charm, thou hateful withered hag!
And leave out thee. Stay, dog, for thou shalt hear me. If heaven have any grievous plague in store, oh, let them keep it till thy sins be ripe, and then hurl down their indignation on thee, the troubler of the poor world's peace. Thy friends suspect us traitors whilst thou livest, and take thee traitors for thy dearest friends. No sleep close up that deadly eye of thine, unless it be while some tormenting dream affrights thee with a hell of ugly devils. Thou elvish, marked, abortive, rooting hog, thou slanderer of thy heavy mother's womb, thou loathing issue of thy father's loins, thou rag of honour, thou detested
Margaret!
Richard! Ha! Oh, let me put a finish to my curse!
It's done by me and ends in Margaret!
Thus have you breathed your curse against yourself.
Poor painted queen. Vain flourish of my fortune. Twice threwest thou sugar on that bottled spider whose deadly web ensnareth thee about. Fool! Fool, thou whetst the knife to kill thyself. The day shall come that thou shalt wish for me to help thee curse this poisonous bunch-backed toad.
Oh, spoding woman, end thy frantic curse.
Dispute not with her, she is lunatic.
Peace, young grey. You are malapert. Your fire new badge of honour is scarce current. Oh, that your young nobility could judge what 'twere to lose it and be miserable. Witness, my son, now in the shade of death, whose bright outshining beams thy cloudy wrath have in eternal darkness folded up. As it is one with blood lost, be it so.
Peace, peace, for shame, if not for charity.
Urge neither charity nor shame to me. Uncharitably with me have you dealt, and shamefully by you my hopes are butchered. My charity is outraged, life my shame, and in that shame still lives my sorrow's
Have done.
rage.
Have done.
Oh, princely Buckingham, I'll kiss thy hand. Thy garments are not spotted with our blood, nor thou within the compass of my curse.
Nor no one here. For curses never pass the lips of those that breathe them in the air.
Don't Buckingham take heed of yonder dog. Look, when he fawns, he bites, and when he bites, his venom juice will rankle to the death. Have not to do with him. Beware of him.
What does she say, my Lord of Buckingham?
Nothing that I respect, my gracious lord.
What? Do you scorn me for my gentle counsel, and soothe the devil that I warn thee from? Oh, but remember this another day, when he shall split thy very heart with sorrow, and say poor Margaret was a prophetess. Live each of you the subjects to his hate, and he to yours, and all of you to God's.
My hair doth stand an end to hear her curses.
And so doth mine. I muse why she's at liberty.
I cannot blame her. By God's holy mother, she hath had too much wrong, and I repent my part thereof that I have done to her.
I never did her any to my knowledge.
You have all the vantage of her wrong.
Madame, his majesty doth call for you and for your grace, and yours, my noble lords.
Catesby, I come. Lords, will you go with me?
We wait upon your grace.
I do the wrong, and first begin to brawl. The secret mischiefs that I set abroach, I lay into the grievous charge of others. Clarence, whom indeed I have laid in darkness, I do beweep to many simple fools. But then I sigh, and with a piece of scripture tell them that God bids us do good for evil. Thus I clothe my naked villainy with old odd ends stolen out of holy writ, and seem a saint when most I play the devil. But soft, here come my executioners. How now, my hardy, stout resolved mates? Are you now come to dispatch this deed?
We are, my lord, and come to have the warrant, so we may be admitted to where he is.
Well thought upon. I have it about me here. But, sirs, be sudden in the execution. Do not hear him plead. But Clarence is well spoken and may move your hearts to pity, if you mark him.
Tut tut, my lord.
We will not stand to prate. Talkers are no good doers.
Be assured, we got to use our hands, not our tongues.
I like you lads!
Your eyes drop millstones when fools' eyes drop tears. About your business straight. Go, dispatch.
We will, my lord.
Sorrow breaks seasons and reposing hours, makes the night morning and a noontide night. Princes have but their tides for their glories, an outward honour for an inward toil. And for unfelt imagination, they often feel a world of restless care, so that betwixt their tides and low names, there's nothing differs but the outward frame.
Why looks your grace so heavily tonight?
Oh, I've passed a miserable night. So full of fearful dreams, of ugly sights.
What were your dreams, my lord? Pray you, tell me.
Methought that I had broken from the tower and was embarked across to Burgundy. And in my company, my brother Richard, who from my cabin tempted me to walk. Upon the hatches there we looked toward England, and sighted up 1,000 heavy times during the wars of York and Lancaster that befallen us. As we paced along, upon the giddy footing of the hatches, methought that Gloucester stumbled, and in falling struck me that thought to stay him overboard into the tumbling billows of the main. O Lord, methought what pain it was to drown. What dreadful noise of water in mine ears, what sights of ugly death within mine eyes. Methought I saw 1,000 fearful wrecks, 1,000 men that fishes gnawed upon.
Awake you not from this sore agony?
No. No, my dream was lengthened after life. Oh, then began the tempest to my soul. I passed, methought, the melancholy flood.
unto the kingdom of perpetual night. The first that dared to greet my stranger soul was my great father-in-law, renowned Warwick, who spake aloud, "What scourge for perjury can this dark monarchy afford false Clarence?" And so we vanished. Then came wandering by a shadow like an angel, who screamed out aloud, "Clarence is come! False, fleeting, perjured Clarence that stabbed me in the field by Tewkesbury! Seize on him, furies! Take him unto torment!" With that, methought, a legion of foul fiends environed me and howled in my ears such hideous cries that with the very noise I trembling raved. And for a season after could not believe but that I was in hell.
No marvel, Lord, though it affrighted you. I'm afraid methinks to hear you tell it.
Ah, Keeper, I have done these things that now give evidence against my soul for Edward's sake, and see how he requites me. Oh, God. Keeper, I prithee sit by me a while. My soul is heavy, and I fain would sleep.
I will, my lord. God give your grace good rest.
Oh, who's there?
What wouldst thou, fellow?
How comest thou hither?
I would speak with George Clarence.
Yeah, and they came here on their legs.
What, so brief?
Well, 'tis better so than to be tedious. Let him see our commission and talk no more.
I am in this commanded to deliver the noble Duke of Clarence into your hands. I will not reason what is meant hereby, because I will be guiltless of the meaning. There lies the Duke asleep, and there the keys. I'll straight to the king and signify to him that thus to you I've resigned my charge.
Do so. It is a point of wisdom. Fare you well.
Yeah.
So, kill him while he sleeps?
No. Then he'll say 'twas done cowardly when he wakes.
When he wakes? Why, fool, he shall not wake until the judgment day.
Why, then he will say we stabbed in sleep.
The urging of that word, judgment, hath bred a kind of remorse in me.
What? Art thou afraid?
Well, not to kill him for having the warrant to do so, but, to be damned for killing him.
Oh. Well, I thought thou hadst been resolute.
So I am. To let him live.
Well, back to the Duke of Gloucester, tell him.
No, prithee, stay a while. I hope my holy humour will change. 'Twas one to hold me, but while one would tell 20.
How dost thou feel now?
Oh, faith, some certain dregs of conscience are yet still within me.
Remember the reward when the deed is done.
Swoons. He dies. I had forgotten about the reward.
Where's thy conscience now?
It's in the Duke of Gloucester's purse.
What? So when he opens his purse to give us our reward, thy conscience flies out.
Let it go. There's few or none who'll entertain it.
Oh, how if it come to thee again?
Oh. Oh, I'll not meddle with it. 'Tis a dangerous thing. Makes a man a coward. Man cannot steal, but it accuseth him. Man cannot swear, but it checks him. Man cannot lay with his neighbour's wife, but it detects him. 'Tis a blushing, shamefast spirit that mutinies in a man's bosom, fills one full of obstacles, that yet it made me once restore a purse of gold that I'd found. Beggars, any man who keeps it. It is turned out of all towns and all cities for a dangerous thing. And every man that means to live well endeavours to trust into himself and to live without it.
Swoons. It is even now at my elbow, persuading me not to kill the Duke.
Oh! Take the devil in thy mind and relieve him not!
That sire, strong framed, he cannot prevail.
Spoken like a tale fellow. Come, shall we?
Take him over the costard with the hilts of thy sword, and then drown him in the wine barrel in the next room.
Oh, excellent device. Make a sup of him. Mark, he stirs.
Shall I strike?
No. Let's reason with him first, eh?
Where art thou, keeper? Give me a cup of wine.
You'll have wine soon enough, my lord. Anon!
In God's name, what art thou?
A man, as you are.
Thy voice is thunder, but thy looks are humble.
My voice is now the king's. Thy looks mine own.
Your eyes do menace me. Why look you pale? Who sent you here, but wherefore do you come?
To
murder me.
Aye.
Wherein, my friends, have I offended you? I shall be reconciled to him again.
Never, my lord, therefore, prepare to die.
Are you called forth from out of a world of men to slay the innocent? What is my offence? To threaten me with death is most unlawful. I charge you, and lay no hands on me. The deed you undertake is damnable.
But what we do upon command.
Erroneous vassal! The great King of Kings hath commanded that thou shalt do no murder.
Well, how canst thou urge God's dreadful law to us, when thou hast broke it in so dear degree?
Alas, for whose sake did I that ill deed? For Edward, for my brother, for his sake. Why, sirs, he sends you not to murder me for this, but in these sins he is as deep as I. And if you be hired for me, go back again. And I will send you to my brother Richard, who shall reward you better for my life than Edward will for tidings of my death.
You are mistaken, and your brother Gloucester hates you.
Do not slander him, for he's kind.
Right as snow in harvest, thou deceivest thyself. 'Tis he that sent us hither now to slaughter thee.
That cannot be. For when I parted with him, he hugged me in his arms and swore with sobs that he would labour my delivery.
Oh, why so he doth. Now he delivers you from this world's thraldom to the joys of heaven.
Therefore make peace with God, my lord, for you must die.
Hast thou that holy feeling in thy soul to counsel me to make my peace with God?
And art thou yet to thine own soul so blind that thou wilt war with God by murdering me?
What do we do?
Relent and save your souls.
Relent?
'Tis cowardly and womanish. Not to relent is beastly, savage, devilish. My friend, I spy some pity in thy looks. To come thou on my side and entreat from me, as you would beg when you were in my distress.
And on the behind me.
And this. And if all that will not do, come, I'll drown you in the wine barrel next door.
Bloody device, desperately dispatched. Oh, no, blame when I wash my hands of this bloody murder.
How now? What meanest thou that thou helpst me not? The Duke shall know how slack thou art.
Yeah? Well, take thou the fee! I would have saved this, brother. But I repent. So do I not.